Hey, what's up, guys? HitboTC here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about Sea of Thieves and the current state that Sea of Thieves is in, with Season 17 just launching and the Smuggler's Tide coming into the game. What that means for us as players, what that means for us as veteran players, and maybe what that means for new players if you're just jumping into Sea of Thieves for the first time. Now, I do want to just kind of start this out with my thoughts on Season 17. And I'm trying to be as fair as I possibly can, but I think Season 17 might be one of the weakest seasons as far as Sea of Thieves has ever seen since the beginning of Season 1. And I don't mean to say that in a harsh way. I just think that everything that we got is very minimal. All we got for this Act 1, this first month, is we got a new voyage. We got the new explosive barrels. And we got like 6 smuggler hideouts. Now, to be completely fair, these smuggler hideouts are awesome. I think Rare always does a really great job with the environmental design. But the new voyage that we get is basically just a reskin merchant voyage. And the trading company for the smugglers, that's not even a trading company. You can't earn reputation for it, and you can't sell it for it as an emissary. Literally, all it is there for is gold, and that's cool. But gold, at the end of the day, no matter if you're a brand new player or if you're a veteran player, eventually you'll get to this point where gold really doesn't matter. So Rare is trying, they got to solve this inherent problem at the end of the day, because smugglers, the only thing that they can really earn is once the accommodations are done. I think that this trading company is going to go into obscurity. Now, there is some interesting stuff, I gotta say, with the journals, then everything that they're talking about. Rare's starting to drip content again like they used to with the lore through the journals. I'm not exactly sure what it could mean. I'm sure Falcor will do a video on it and kind of jump into depth with it. But my interpretation or my intuition says that Rare's probably going to try to do something with the Dark Brethren, especially considering Act 3 of this Season 17 has the Dark Brethren fighting against Flameheart. So I think there's going to be something with that. Maybe the smugglers are working with the Dark Brethren, or maybe the smugglers are working with the captain or whoever that might be. I'm not totally sure. I'm not the biggest lore guy when it comes to Sea of Thieves, but just kind of checking out the season. I jumped into it today, the first day of the season, and it just kind of felt nothing like crazy. And I haven't felt that with a season of Sea of Thieves for a long time. Typically, Sea of Thieves on launch day, we'll see pretty strong numbers as far as like a stream DB is concerned. But I think from the statistics, this may be one of the lowest turnouts for a season as far as the players are concerned that we've ever seen, which is pretty kind of crazy to say that out loud, because especially for someone who's been here for every single season, it really does feel that Rare is missed the mark on this one. Now, I do want to say this, and I'll probably get some pushback for this, but I do think that there's some stuff going on behind the scenes, maybe some stuff that we're not aware of. And I'm sure some people will say, Hitbo, this thing happened way after Season 17 was planned, blah, 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 blah. But I do know that recently Rare has gone through some pretty big shakeup at their office. They had a lot of layoffs, and Microsoft came in, X'd Everwild. Everwild is no longer a thing. A few of the longtime Rare employees that have been with the company for a long time, are no longer work there. And with all of that happening, then we get Season 17. So it just kind of feels like there's probably some stuff that we don't know, because here's what I do know, right? Here's what I do know. When I think about Sea of Thieves and when I'm feeling bummed about it, and it's not like pushing the content in a way that I would hope or whatever the case might be, I do know that at the end of the day, Rare, the people, they're really great people. I've had conversations with them, and I think at the end of the day, they want this game to be successful and continue to be successful. On paper right now, the game's been very successful, and they want it to continue to thrive and to grow. And you see that, and when I think about the people behind the game, I got nothing but love for them. And so I want this game to succeed, and I believe they want it to succeed too. So maybe some of the stuff that we're feeling is just a simple small season because that's all they could do with what the time that they got and with all of the shakeup at the company. You know, honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think maybe that applied something or had something to do with it. I'm not 100% sure, but I do want to say I have an idea that I want to share out with all of you that I do think could potentially maybe bring Smugglers Tide to the top of the seasons as one of the great seasons. So when I was thinking about this gameplay loop, Sea of Thieves suffers from this really this end game that is not fulfilling, right? Like you'll see, you jump into my stream, I have like 250 million gold, like 20,000 doubloons. Like I got stuff and I have gold. I don't really buy anything because I don't really care about anything. I don't see anything that I want. But what if the smugglers brought in a black market? And what if that black market had cosmetics that were previously time limited or time locked in the past? And so through this black market, maybe it requires doubloons to purchase these things. And maybe to get the amount of doubloons you need to sell stuff to the smugglers. And maybe they convert gold to doubloons to purchase these cosmetics. You know, I've thought about this a lot. I think at the end of the day, if they did something like if the cosmetic was earnable within the game during an event, then it could show up in the black market and have this black market refresh every 2 weeks to a month, and maybe even have each smuggler have a different piece, you know, and these could be, you know, take 5,000 or 6,000 doubloons to get it. So you really got to choose what you want to get, but maybe you could convert gold to doubloons, or maybe if you sold directly these really rare items to the smugglers, you would get doubloons for it. I'm not quite sure. I haven't fully thought through every aspect, but on the surface, I wonder if we could give value again to all treasure and give value to gold and turn the doubloons into the premium currency for Sea of Thieves, so that if you're out there and you want to maybe get the Bone Crusher tattoo that I do have, that you would maybe just go out and grind and hope that this week is the week that the smugglers get the Bone Crusher in their black market, the Bone Crusher tattoo set. And so if you're a little shy on the doubloons, you're going to grind that week. You're going to do all these world events. You can convert the gold to the doubloons. You're going to go after the Reaper chest. Like, you're going to do everything you can to get this time limited event item that is now on this black market. And it kind of fits with like the theme of the smugglers, I think, because, you know, they deal in rarities. So I do feel like it kind of would fit a little bit. I know when I've shared this, a lot of people do pushback. I just got to get this off my chest. I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that gatekeep in Sea of Thieves, and they really don't want other people to get the cosmetics that they have. And it's a weird thing. It's weird. Okay. I'm sorry. It's odd to me that people don't want you to have a cosmetic when it doesn't affect them at all, right? Like it doesn't bother me if someone else were to get the Bone Crusher tattoo set. The amount of times people come into my chat and they're like, hey Hippo, you know, what tattoo set do you have? You know, it's a Bone Crusher tattoo. Can you get it? No, you had to be here, you know, year one. What'd you have to do year one? Or like the Wailing Barnacle set, my ship Kevin. It's like everyone asks, you know, what ship set do you have? Oh, I love how it looks. Can I get it? No, you can't. Oh, what'd you have to do for it? You just had to buy it on literally the black market that existed with Duke. That was it. That's all you had to do. So it's an odd thing to me that we sit here today and we see this like almost this elitism of players that don't want others to get these cosmetics that they have. I say just bring it into the smugglers, bring it into this black market, and allow players to earn them through playing the game, earning and saving these doubloons, and, you know, bringing it back, giving the gameplay something to work towards. Because I do know one thing, right? I do know one thing. I have a friend, his name is Green. He would do anything if he could get the Wandering Reaper haul. It's literally the one haul he wants for his ship. If that was in the black market, Green would do anything he could to earn the doubloons he needed to get that haul. And the only reason he doesn't have it is he literally wasn't playing the game at that time. That's the only reason. Now, that's cool that there are some people out there that have it, but it's always surprising to me that the people that are the loudest about gatekeeping these cosmetics don't even use the cosmetics they're gatekeeping. It's a crazy thing to me because it just doesn't quite make sense. Either way, what I'm sharing is already happening. Season rewards, season things are already coming back into the stores where you can purchase them again. So it doesn't really even make sense to me that this couldn't be an idea. I would love to know what you think. You know, drop a comment down below what your thoughts are on if Rare implemented a black market with the Smuggler's Tide. Would you like to see something like that? Would that be kind of cool to utilize doubloons? Because it kind of hits two birds with one stone, right? It would give purpose to gold because gold could be converted to doubloons, and then it would make doubloons the premium currency once again. The more doubloons you have is the most important thing because you want to have the doubloons ready for when the smugglers refresh their black market, just in case that rare cosmetic that you've never seen, never had a chance to get shows up and you want to make sure you can get it. Just kind of a thought there, but I know I kind of like sidetracked here, and I'm trying something new with these videos. I'm just kind of sitting down talking shop because I love Sea of Thieves. The one thing I know for sure is I freaking love Sea of Thieves. It's one of my favorite games. I have over 10,000 hours into it, and it kind of bums me out a little bit that I don't feel that same drive that I've always felt for 7 years through all of the content dips and through all of the low seasons. I've always felt this drive to play the game, but what I'm starting to see is this shallow experience, and it's a weird thing. I know some people are still having great experiences, and that's wonderful. And the truth is, if you're new to Sea of Thieves or you're casually playing this game, it's going to continue to be one of the most thrilling and exciting games for you out there. But there has definitely been something that shifted in the Sea of Thieves mentality, in the Sea of Thieves world, or at least among the veteran players that have been around a long time. And that is just this, the Sea of Thieves that we know and love seems to have somehow disappeared. And we can't quite put our finger on why it has done that. But I know there's just this weird thing where it just doesn't feel like it used to. I mean, give an example of what me and Green did in 2023. We stole over 1,000 chests of legends throughout the year. It was a blast. We tracked every single one. Every day we jumped into the seas. We were looking for Fort of the Dams. We were looking for these big stacks. We were finding them. We were stealing the chests of legends, and we were having a grand old time. But today, this chest of legends, which used to be the pinnacle, the thing that everyone wanted, the thing that everyone protected, the thing that everyone took care of no matter what. It was the one chest. If you were going to hide something, that was the chest that you hide. But now today, the chest of legends is kind of a meaningless thing. People just treat it like every other thing. And to be fair, they should, because it's only 10,000 gold and it only gives you so much reputation. You can get trinkets now for Athena that are 15K. You can do that through a raid voyage. And you can pretty much be guaranteed that you won't be bothered through a raid voyage. So it's just the nature of the game seems to have shifted in a pretty big way. Doesn't mean that it's all bad. There's definitely been some good things that have come, but I just wonder really what is going on with season 17. What is going on with the state of the game today? I do appreciate that Drew and a lot of the devs over there's teams that are working to make improvements. We're going to get Field of View 110 soon, which is fantastic. And they're doing their best to solve the cheating problem that's, you know, plaguing Hourglass and all of this stuff. And still, though, what are we doing with the game? What's going on? Because there's definitely something that's missing. Green said something that really kind of caught me off guard. And I didn't agree with him at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I think he's right. The story of Sea of Thieves, or the adventure of the game, is always something that we loved. It's always something that brought us in. It's always something that would keep us around on a server. Sometimes we'd spend 2, 3, 4 hours on a server, and we would stack, we would do Fort of the Dams, but there really wasn't this huge desire to jump to a new server. But since season 11, though I love season 11, since season 11 with the dive-in feature that's been added, now people just come in and out of servers, or they'll dive in, do their thing, sell, and then dive to another server. I wonder if that change has affected the state and the story of each server that you get to be on, because now people don't stick around as much. Now people just dive in and dive out. And so now we're in this part of the game where the stories, the thing that made the game the best part, the shared world experience, that is harder to find. It's harder to find. You can have your own stories with your own crew, and that's cool. But as far as a story on a server, I mean, you go back and watch my videos. There'd be days where there would be something that happened on a server. It was hilarious. It was awesome. And I would literally stay up that night, edit it, and ready for post for the next day, just because it was the craziest story. But I don't get that anymore. Now it's just roll in. We have somebody to sync. We sync them. We dive to a new server. And maybe we're playing the game wrong. Like maybe we're missing out on the thing that made the game the best. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm rambling at this point. But I do got to say, you know, I hope the best for the game. I hope the best for Sea of Thieves. But it is an interesting thing. If you were to jump into the data of people playing the player base for Sea of Thieves, I bet season 17 is probably one of the lowest ones for playing, for viewing on Twitch and all of those numbers. It's an odd thing. It's an odd thing. And I just want to talk to you guys about it and get a video out and kind of share my thoughts on it. Because I love this freaking game, man. I want it to succeed, and I love the devs, and I love the team over there. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. I would love to see what you guys think. I'd love to, you know, comment down below what your thoughts are on everything I just said, and hopefully, you know, we'll see you guys out on the seas, or if we're just checking out other games, I'd love to have you stop by the stream. We're also streaming over on Kick these days, so if you're one of those people who are like, yo, Hippo, I hate freaking ads, well, Kick doesn't have ads, so you can check me out on Kick, have no ads, and watch me over on the green team. Anyways, that being said, we'll see you guys on the seas. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet subscribed, as they always say, you can subscribe if you want, of course, for more content like this. More ramblings from a crazy person. Yeah.